Yo, 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 what's the word? It's your boy OC. It's not just comedy, it's everything. And we back with another one. Woman discovers her grandmother's horrifying secret. Horrifying. Horrifying. That's the key word right there. Horrifying. So that should tell you a lot right now. That's about to happen. That's about to go down in this video. You heard? Let me back up a little bit. I know I'm a little too close to y'all. Don't go to the edge. Nah. Yo, look, listen. So, it's about to get crazy. Let's get into this.
Ivan, step out here.
You got a warrant for your arrest. Yeah, so it's for murder charges.
This is 60-year-old Elaine Gowan. She is briefly seen here leaving this apartment complex with a briefcase. This is the last time she would ever be seen alive.
911, what's the address for emergency?
So we're driving down the road to go shooting, and there is a dead body on the side of the road.
Elaine's body would be found 13 days after the last time she was seen on CCTV. Police believe she was entangled in a deadly love triangle prior to her murder. But over the course of the next several months, this cold case would turn out to be far more complicated and...
I was just about to ask y'all that. I was just about to say, yo, what y'all think happened to her? Like, she been missing for how long they said? 3 months? Last time seen on a CCTV? What y'all... Well, I can't even ask y'all that no more because he done told y'all she was caught up in a love triangle. But, word, like, I bet you got something to do with the husband and the neighbor.
even more disturbing than they could have ever imagined.
When me and her broke up, she moved in with a guy, and he tried to mess with her.
And all I know is his first name's Sam.
Oh, I was wrong.
It was a bad deal with him. Because he's telling me if he comes from behind, he's going to run
wrong.
the tree.
Central 166, be advised, it's their grandfather in the car, and he called them saying that he's possibly going to try to crash the car.
On February 13th, 2023, Elaine Gowan was seen leaving her longtime job at Sugar's Diner. She had just told her daughter over a text message that she was on her way to pick up some things from her friend Mike, who she had recently moved in with after breaking up with her ex-boyfriend, Sam Brammer, only a week earlier. Strangely, she would specify that her co-worker at Sugar's Diner would be the one to drive her there. However, as Elaine left her workplace, no co-worker would show up. Instead, strangely, her ex-boyfriend Sam would be the one to pick her up.
Come on
Hours
now.
would go
If
by,
it ain't the
but
neighbor,
Elaine
it's the
would
ex.
never show back up to Sugar's. The owner of the
it ain't the
restaurant,
neighbor, it's the
Megan,
ex.
would begin worrying as to
It's
where
always the
Elaine
ex.
could have gone and started
I don't know
frantically
why.
sending her messages asking for her whereabouts. But oddly, she would receive a single message back saying, "Leave me alone, I'm done." This was very strange coming from Elaine, as she almost never texted, usually resorting to phone calls, and was often extremely responsible. Something strange was going on. The day would go by, and Elaine would never be seen. The following day, Elaine's daughter would file a missing persons report for Elaine to the Council of Bluffs Police Department.
Damn, y'all. I know that's her daughter and all, but yo, I ain't gonna. Should I say it? Is that the daughter? Is that the daughter? I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. Yo! I ain't gonna say it.
The Council of Bluffs Police Department, and an investigation began. Detectives would begin collecting CCTV footage from everywhere in the town to try and fully document where Eileen
fucked up.
went
What
the
happened to
day
her-
of her
her mother, though?
disappearance. But
Really,
this would
all
be
funny jokes
quite the
aside.
lengthy process. So without anything to go by, police would start asking her family and friends. Apparently, after leaving her ex-boyfriend, Sam Brammer, a week earlier, she had stayed with her new friend, Mike Brockman, a man her family claimed had likely assaulted her the night before she disappeared.
Wow.
This shined a suspicious light on both of the men she was involved with. So police would bring in both Sam and Mike for interrogation and
essayed,
see if they could find
spin.
any leads. Mike was a friend of Eileen's who met her at Sugar's and became very close over time. It was still unclear to officers
What's up
what
with
happened
Sugar's,
to
y'all?
Eileen.
I've been here, like, I've been watching a lot of different, like, podcasts, and a lot of these things happen. A lot of dates and a lot of kidnapping and shit like that happen in Sugars. Why, son? I think that's where's Sugars? I'm not even gonna say it because I ain't from out of town. You feel me? But it's just the people I be watching. The people that I be watching, my fault, y'all. The whole time I'm looking at the screen, you feel me? I should be looking at y'all, my fault. I'm doing it again. That's that ADHD word. Nah, but look, I don't know where Sugar's at, so I ain't gonna really say too much on that. But I be watching a lot of podcasts, and a lot of this shit that be going on like this, similar to this, happen in that spot. You heard? So be careful in that spot. Anywhere you going, you hear that name Sugar, just keep that in mind. Shit go down in that motherfucker.
At this point, for all they know, she could have just gone MIA and taken a break from her stressful life. However, if anyone would have the clues as to where she went, it would be Mike.
So basically, I mean, as you know, I talked to you on Monday. Did I, or was it Wednesday, I guess, was the first day I talked to you. I had received information from some of the family that you and Eileen were possibly in a relationship, or kind of sort of, she may live with you for a few days or a week or so. But if you could just kind of go before Monday, just kind of tell us how you guys know each other, how she ended up out there at your place, that kind of thing, and then we'll kind of move from there.
She was a waitress at Sugar's, and I knew her from in there, and I talked to her before and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you piece of shit.
And then she told me, I don't know what it was like.
What's up with that shit, right? You always trying to ruin my shit.
That
Fuck
she
on,
got
get
kicked
out of here.
out.
Woohoo!
She needed a place to stay. I said, well, you can stay at my place for a couple of days. I think it was Friday. She called me and she said, I won't be coming back. She says, we're getting back together. Her and her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And all I know is his first name's Sam. I don't know anything else about him.
Okay.
And so I didn't see her.
Ain't this the one that essayed her though and spent
called me
off?
crying on that Saturday
Am I bugging?
night. And she said,
Ain't he the
we
one that
gotta
essayed her
have
and
you
dick?
come out for a day. I said, you can come back out, but you gotta be gone Monday because I can't have this. I'm single. I don't want anything like this going on.
Two initial thoughts can be made upon hearing Mike's story.
Word.
On one hand, it seems like Sam was back together with Eileen, so Sam would be a much stronger person of interest, as he'd likely been the last person to see her. On the other hand, Mike may have had a deep connection with Eileen, meaning if he learned she got back with her ex-boyfriend just days after moving in with him, he could have played a sinister role in her disappearance.
Yeah.
But detectives plan to let Mike tell his side of the story before confronting him about the suspicious relationship.
So I took her to work Monday morning. That'd been a week ago yesterday. Dropped her off at 5 a.m. And she was supposed to get off at, I don't know, she said 7 or 8. Her daughter was gonna pick her up. She's gonna go to her mom's and get her safe and take her to her daughter's. And then she was supposed to come back to work at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, then I get a phone call from the bar saying, hey, have you you seen her? And I said, I haven't seen her, I haven't talked to her, nothing. Oh, she didn't show up for work, she didn't show up. I said, I haven't heard anything. And I tried to contact her and couldn't get a hold of her. So I sent her a text message and I said, all your stuff that's bagged up is gonna be sitting behind the bar. You gotta get it, I want it out of here. I don't wanna mess with any more of this. And I never, since 5 o'clock that Monday morning, I'd never had any contact with her, phone, text, or anything. And then
Sound like he
I
capping.
didn't know anything till right before you called me that she'd come up
He just keeps
missing.
stuttering. He like,
Mike would go on to claim that he never had any sexual relationship with Eileen and that she stayed in a completely different room to him while living in his house. However, detectives know more about Mike than he thinks, and with some information Eileen's close friends shared with them, they don't believe he and Eileen were just friends.
right.
Has anybody said anything to you that Eileen was saying anything about you? Have you heard anything about her making any statements about you and your behavior while she lived or was staying with you out there?
No,
So you haven't heard that she may have made a statement that you possibly assaulted her while she was up there?
no.
Come on, let's get to it. Talk about it.
That statement was made to a couple people that you supposedly laid down on her bed with her and spooned her from behind. Is that,
No.
can you tell me, is that any of that accurate? Any of those statements?
I would not do that.
Come on, y'all, let's get to it.
Like I
Let's get
said,
to
she's
it.
loose cannon.
I mean,
Let's talk about
I mean,
it.
I guess here's the deal. You're a grown man, she's a grown woman. You know, if there was any type of whatever contact between you that was consensual, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I mean, she was crying that first night she come out and I hugged her.
Okay?
But there was no sexual relationship, no asking for it or anything.
This information is, well, concerning, considering it would be unlike Eileen to make up blatant lies of this magnitude. However, with little to no evidence, other than a few rumors coming from her friends, police can't harp over these allegations and decide to wrap Mike's questioning up. At this point, Mike is still considered to have potential
Yeah, he's just a
involvement in
suspect
Eileen's
at this point, y'all.
disappearance. But with a lack of
Just a
leads,
suspect, you heard?
they direct their attention to the only other potential suspect, Eileen's ex-boyfriend, Sam Brammer.
You already met Detective Dyer?
Yeah, we get first names, but yeah.
Yeah, this is Detective Dyer. I'm the sergeant that you talked to on the phone. My name's Ted Roberts. I'm a
You know,
sergeant.
when I got on the phone with you, and you
Yeah.
said that I was the last person to see her alive.
I'm just
I
holding
didn't
this
say
shit
that.
because
Yeah.
I don't want
I
it to
didn't
be in
say
a way,
that.
you
I
feel me?
didn't-
And
yeah,
and
I
I'm a
said you're the
little,
last person that saw her
I know
before she
y'all could hear me a little
went
clearer too.
missing.
Sam
I don't
wasted
gotta
no time
scoot over
adding
and
more
I can look
suspicion
directly
onto
to
his
you and
name.
just,
The
talk
phone
to you.
recording shows that the detective
that,
never
you know what I'm
mentioned Sam being the last to see Eileen alive. Eileen has been missing for less than 48 hours at this point, so the fact that he's already alluding to the idea that she's dead is awfully disturbing. But this would only mark the beginning of Sam's unsettling choice of words during the interview.
Damn. Come on with this piece of shit ass commercial, bro. I hate these shits, bro. Shit just be popping up at the most unnecessary time, ruining your shit. Like, come on, look, ruining your shit.
I wasn't arrested.
No, yeah, that's I think you misheard me here. I got it recorded. I'll have to go back and listen to it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what I said. But,
So this is Sam.
I mean, basically, we got a crazy deal here where, Eileen is evidently, her family and everything else, she's never done this kind of thing before. She's never just,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't wanna
took
hurt
off
you.
and gone. They all know
What she
she's.
does is she comes to me, and she moves him, she's
I'm just
moved
trying to
him
keep
4 or 5
it
times.
type shit.
But usually when she moves him with me, she stays away from home.
Yeah, because they said they
It's
talk
30
every
though.
day.
It's 30, right?
The daughter and her talk every day
something?
by,
They need
on the
something?
phone or whatever she says. Yeah.
But I
If they
want
need
y'all to hear
something,
me too
then
at the
go
same
over.
time. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? While I'm looking.
Just like when she got arrested
Yeah, I could rock like this.
DWI, she went to jail, they finally bailed her up. What they do? They
I
took
know
her
y'all
and dropped
can
her
hear
off at the bar.
Okay.
And she was
As long as I
homeless.
keep my
Okay,
voice a little
let's-
loud, you know
if
what I'm
you
saying?
could, I just need to
Keep it
know
normal. If I
what
talk
went
normal,
on
I know y'all can hear
Monday
me.
morning.
Cause
What
I'm
happened
talking
Monday
over the
morning
audio at the same time, you know what I'm
with
saying? I don't wanna.
you?
She texted me
Okay.
and wanted to know if I would come and get her.
And they gotta
because
mute it
one of
back,
her
you know what I'm
friends
saying?
Supposedly was supposed to come and get her.
I mean,
And
unmute it.
supposedly ran out of gas.
My fault, y'all. Let's get into
So-
this.
Did she tell you the friend's name or? Okay.
So I got
I be
there.
all off topic and shit.
And I said, I'll be there in a minute. She goes, don't come inside. I don't want Megan to know that we're back, or you're with me. I said, okay. And I pulled up, she gets in the truck. We take off, run out to this, supposedly the one that tried to do something with her. And dropped her off there. Then I left. And then wasn't too long after that is when she called me. I think she was at my house knocking. You can't get in my apartment building unless you have a key to get in. But I think she was knocking on my window. I didn't look, I didn't care. I just wanted to.
Oh yeah, he
They
did
got
something.
taken
Right?
out. That's when she texted me, wanted to know if I could talk to Emmy about letting
It's
her
Sam,
move
y'all.
back in.
It's Sam. He's the
Because this
suspect.
guy, now that's true,
When?
that night.
The night before
The
Monday?
night before Monday, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was true or not. I don't know if she was just saying that to get me to take her back or what, I don't know.
But the other one said
This statement
supposedly
adds
essayed
more
her,
weight
or
to
was he?
Eileen's
Did they say
allegations
he
towards
essayed
Mike.
her, or?
If Mike did do these things to Eileen, then moving out and staying with Sam would be completely logical. On top of his statement, what Sam is about to reveal to detectives will make the allegations much harder to dismiss
he
and
said
place all the suspicion
Mike did
back
that.
on
Okay.
Mike.
And she says, please talk to Emmy, see if I can come back home. He
Damn, my
me
fault.
last night. Sam, I love you, I promise.
So
I'll
Mike
quit
did that.
drinking.
Mike was the one that did that.
Please give me another chance. And she
Mike
says,
is-
I'm
Mike
hanging
is
out
the
with her,
creep.
and this was at 122.
What's it say?
I been knew
And
Mike
it
was the
says
creep
here, I'm hanging
though.
out with a friend,
I
I'll
thought
get
he
home with
was-
you later. I'm
thought
not
he
going
was,
to work. I'm not
I
going
thought
to
they was getting
Back to two,
the
right?
story about him, about
two or
why
three.
he's there. But I guess he's just informing them
And then,
about Mike.
you go to work, go back there, they treat me like shit. And then she says, you've seen it. They have, I mean, but I can't say nothing. And then, and I said, why are you telling me? Why didn't you tell me this earlier when I was talking to you? You're drunk. You're drunk, ain't you? Be honest. That's why I can't do this no more. Please, do not call me no more, text me no more.
Oh, he broke up with
I'll
her.
be friends with you at work. And that's where she got pissed off. Said, you.
Based on these texts, it really seems like Eileen's disappearance was just a way for her to take a break from her traumatic life. If the allegations are true and her ex-boyfriend refused to give her a place to stay, well, then running away for the time being is completely reasonable. Sam's story seems solid so far, but there's one
Yeah, his
tiny
story
detail that
seems
just doesn't quite add up. And this detective has just picked up on it.
But you said you dropped her off in front of Mike's house
Yeah.
and you watched her walk into the.
All she did was she got out and she walked in front of the truck. She walked in front of the truck. I went up, turned around, and that's when I left.
Okay, so you didn't see her get into the house, anything like that.
Okay.
So if she had walked away from there, I mean, that's quite a ways away from your
That's
apartment
6.7
complex. I wonder
miles.
how she would have got
She's not
to
walking
you.
that far.
I told you
She
so,
old.
man. Was supposed to come and pick her up.
She's old, y'all. She's
Sam
not walking that
claims the
far.
day of Eileen's disappearance, he drove her from her workplace at Sugar's Diner over to Mike's house to get her belongings. After that, he drove off, assuming she was to be picked up by one of her friends. Fortunately, police can easily cross-reference these claims using surveillance footage. At this point, the majority of the CCTV camera footage has been obtained from the day of Eileen's disappearance, so detectives quickly wrapped up Sam's interview so that they could further investigate his claims. Additionally, the detective would apologize for assuming Sam's earlier word choice was suspicious.
6:56
After nearly
a.m.
48 hours of compiling the
been asleep
surveillance
yet.
footage from around the town, officers managed to put together a complete timeline
third
of
video.
Sam and Eileen's car ride.
When it came
I'm
time
going
to
back
take
to
things to the
back,
next
you heard?
level, I knew that I had to make a website, and Wix.
No rest.
At 8:30 a.m. on February 13th, Eileen would patiently wait at her work,
I got
Sugars, for Sam to pick her up. Eileen
Point
needed a
eight
ride to go and purchase a new apartment
grams of
since
weed
Mike
left,
had
you
kicked her
heard?
out. She
got
would tell
nothing
her
to
boss and daughter that a friend was picking her up because she didn't want anyone
But
to
I'ma
know
smoke
her and
this
Sam
bitch.
were back together. Eileen and Sam would first drive to her mother's apartment, Dudley Courts. She would be seen carrying a...
My bad, y'all. My brain be all over the place. You heard? I'm gonna back it up so I could get back in tune with y'all. Pause. Hey, yo, na man for back it up a fire for that.
After nearly 48 hours of compiling the surveillance footage from around the town, officers managed to put together a complete timeline of Sam and Eileen's car ride.
You know you out of bud when you got
At
knock the
8:30
jaw.
a.m. on February 13th, Eileen would patiently wait at her work, Sugars, for Sam to pick her up. Eileen needed a ride to go and purchase a new apartment since Mike had kicked her out. She would tell her boss and daughter that a friend was picking her up because she didn't want anyone to know her and Sam were back together. Eileen and Sam would first drive to her mother's apartment, Dudley Courts. She would be seen carrying a suitcase-like object out from her mother's apartment, then leaving with it. This would turn out to be a safe containing $1,200, which she had planned to use as a down payment for an apartment. At 9:30 a.m., they would drive directly to the Sherwood apartment complex to purchase the apartment. However, the complex happened to be closed, so they were unable to purchase anything. This is where the timeline starts to deter from Sam's claims in the interrogation room. From 9:45 to 10:30 a.m., Sam's car can be seen driving all across town. He went in multiple circles and even made a quick stop to Burger King at 10:30. However,
He probably
he
bodied
never
her.
drove
You
Eileen
heard?
to
That's why
Mike's
he was
house
doing all
like
that
he had
spinning
claimed.
around.
In fact, Sam's car can be seen driving in the opposite direction to Mike's house the entire morning. This is concerning, but it would only
Probably
get
went to go
worse.
dump her body.
For the next 2 hours, Sam's truck goes off the grid. It's completely unknown where he went.
Yep, he's going
and
to
no
dump that
CCTV
body.
cameras had managed to
So he
capture
took
his
her to the-
location.
to the, motel,
Luckily,
whatever,
At 1
bodied
p.m.,
her,
his truck would appear
put
back
her-
on the
probably
same
stuffed her in
streets
the
he
trunk
circled on for
and
hours
started
that
spinning
morning.
around.
And
Feel me?
eventually,
Go-
he
stopping
would
at
make his way
McDonald's, all
back
type
to
of
his
shit.
own home at the
Trying to look
Cottonwood
normal,
apartment
'cause
complex.
he ain't know where to
But
put her.
things
And
were
then
different in
finally
all the
figured it out,
recordings
like, let me
past
take her out
1
of town.
p.m. Eileen was no longer with Sam. Cameras had clearly captured
See?
that Sam
She's
was
inside
nowhere
of
near
the
Mike's
truck,
house
in
the
the trunk,
entire day. So
or tied
why
up
would
in the
he
back
feel the need to
somewhere.
lie
She's tied up in the
about
back
where he
somewhere,
dropped
y'all.
Eileen off? This footage paints Sam out to look awfully suspicious. And while both Sam and Mike have some strong dirt to their name, Sam's clear lies convince officers to bring him back to the station the very next day, this time to confront him on his false alibis. Unbeknownst to detectives, this very interview would spark a months-long game of cat and mouse involving a high-speed pursuit, unsettling clues, and a chilling discovery. But before we get to that, let me tell you about today's sponsor, ShipStation. Every business owner knows the headache of juggling multiple shipping platforms and carriers, especially after the holidays. That's where ShipStation comes in. ShipStation brings order to the chaos by letting you manage all your shipments in one place. No more juggling between different platforms or losing track of orders. ShipStation's features guarantee you will always find the best prices across all major carriers. The intuitive dashboard puts everything at your fingertips, making order management simple and efficient. Businesses save up to 88% off of UPS, DHL Express, and USPS.
Thought I was on the iPad for a minute.
Do me a favor and just kind of.
Come on, come on. I hate double clicking, bro. Come on.
That's ShipStation.com, code INSANITY. With that said, let's get back to Sam Brammer, who had just been brought back to the interrogation room to explain the inconsistencies in his alibi.
The other day when we were in here, you told me that you got a phone call from her and you went to pick her up from work. So if you could do me a favor and just kind of go through that timeline. We know that it was somewhere right around at 8:30. So if you can just kind of go through that timeline again as far as.
I'm not too sure on the time.
Okay.
But anyway, she texted me that morning, and I didn't text her back, I called her, and she wanted to know if I would come and get her, because some girl was...
My bad, I gotta pay attention. I be so sorry. I be doing the most, you heard. I don't know why. My brain just be all over the place. Everything, I gotta be thinking about everything at one time. That shit, I don't know how I do it, but I do it.
Phone call from her and you went to pick her up from work. So if you could do me a favor and just kind of go through that timeline again. We know that it was somewhere right around at 8:30. So if you can just kind of go through that timeline again as far as...
I'm not too sure on the time.
Okay.
But anyway, she texted me that morning, and I didn't text her back, I called her, and she wanted to know if I would come and get her, because some girl was supposed to pick her up, and she ran out of gas. So I went and picked her up, and she got in the truck, I left, and she wanted to talk to me about helping her get in the apartment, because she lived in the same apartment building I did, but she didn't pay her rent, so she got kicked out. So, but she didn't want to go home right away. So me and her just went right down Broadway, and then she wanted to stop at her mom's house. I stopped at her mom's house, and she was in there for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. She come out of there, got back in, and then we was going back down Broadway, just talking some more. And she promised me, she wanted me to drop her back off at his house. But she made me to promise I wouldn't do nothing to him, and I told her I promised.
What?
As a matter of fact, when we get there, we just get out, you walk in front of the truck, I'll turn around and I'll leave. And she says, okay.
Okay, so you went up there, you dropped her off, then what'd you do?
And as soon as I pulled up, and she didn't want me to go in the driveway in case he was there.
Okay.
You probably went in the crib with her and killed her in the crib, like I said.
I straight turned around and came back.
Okay.
And I hit straight home.
So you went back down to the highway, went back down to Kingsville?
You left her there?
Huh?
You left her
Killed
there?
her in the
Or
crib.
you...
No, she got the truck. She didn't want to come in.
Put her in
Just
the
a second
truck.
ago, you said she went in, grabbed clothes, came back out to your truck, and you guys left again.
No. That was at her mom's house.
Clearly, Sam is lying about where he was the day of Eileen's disappearance.
Didn't he say something about a
detectives
motel?
know it, and it seems like Sam is starting to realize he won't be able to keep up his fake story for much longer.
He said something about a motel,
Even
right?
after being told that cameras show him nowhere near Mike's house the entire day, Sam insists on his story that he did in fact drop Eileen off at Mike's house. With this, the detectives would take a brief break from the room to watch the footage over again, just to triple check that Sam is 100% lying. And to nobody's surprise, the footage showed Sam on the opposite side of town during the time he claims to have been at Mike's. So when the detectives return to the interview room, they'll use this information to try and get Sam to own up to his lies.
We got a small little snap here, right, that we need to talk to you about, okay? So you said after you dropped her off, out there off of Highway 191 at that residence, you headed back to your apartment. We checked.
See? They didn't want to bring that to him in the first place. They didn't want to say that to him in the first place, even though they know he did that and they knew he was lying. They didn't want to say that to him because they wanted him to wrap himself up, keep lying. You feel me? The more you lie is the more you don't have a fighting chance. The more you get caught in your lie is the more you don't have a fighting chance. So he can't ask for it can't be no self-defense. No, whatever crime happened, it's no leniency because you been lying the whole time and they caught you lying, you know what I'm saying? And you stud on the lie. And it's crazy because you supposed to like where I'm from, you supposed to lie to them niggas no matter what you heard. So that's where we that ignorance kick in at, cause but anyways, let's go, cause like I said, I just be talking. I be talking about a bunch of bullshit sometimes. You gotta just bear with me, y'all.
So we're cameras, okay, and we have a camera at 36th and Broadway, and we have your truck going westbound at 9:28 a.m. going to Omaha, okay, when you pass 36th and Broadway heading west.
Niggas that be killing they bitches though, that shit. I mean, niggas that be
So
killing
you didn't know
they wives, I ain't gonna say
what all
bitches.
looks like. Do you remember what you did? or
Guys
you
that be
saw
killing
what
their
it
wives
was?
and shit.
Where'd you go?
Man,
I told you I went
niggas
straight
is
home.
a
I don't
disgrace.
remember going home.
And same
Well,
go for women that do the shit to
camera doesn't
they
lie. It's your
men,
truck and it's your license
they
plate
husbands
number.
and shit.
Right, okay.
That's a disgrace.
At 36th and Broadway.
There's no reason
At
for you
9:28
off your
a.m.
husband or your
Going
wife
west toward 480.
for no type of cash or
And then
no
1 hour later,
foul
you're coming
play.
back
Just
from
move
home and you're coming eastbound coming back into Council Bluffs. 1 hour later.
If she be around the
Where'd you go?
bushes and doing some.
Do you really want to spend the
weird
rest of
shit,
your life watching ads? Guys,
let her
just
be.
download Pi.
Find
It's a free
somebody
Google
else.
Chrome extension and it basically blocks.
Find somebody else for her. Let her be. Find somebody else. Move on, and that's that. You don't gotta go off her and fuck your life up. And you don't gotta go off him and fuck your life up, shorty. You know what I mean? Bygones be bygones. You feel me? You go live your life, do something else, find somebody new, get introduced to new things. You know what I'm saying? And be the best you could be. Don't fuck your life up for nobody. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. It's not worth it.
Sam is stuck at this point. No matter what information detectives reveal, he will not admit to anything. At this point in the interview, all Sam has left is to simply reject everything the detectives tell him. They know Sam isn't telling the truth, but why he's not telling the truth is what remains to be seen. However, with Sam seemingly uncooperative, all detectives can do is end the interview and let Sam back onto the streets. Until more concrete evidence can prove he had more to do with Aline's disappearance than he claims. But, fortunately, letting Sam back onto the streets would lead them to the exact evidence that they were looking for. While law enforcement was working away at this case, another investigative group would be working in the dark. Eileen's family. Everyone held hope that Eileen was still alive, but with time passing, her family was demanding answers. Sam and Eileen had a long history of arguments, physical assault, and much more that the family was well aware of. They knew Sam had more information about Eileen's whereabouts than he had told them. So, to figure this out for themselves, Eileen's son, Jack, would show up to Sam's door that same night, and he would pound on the door, and upon opening, Jack would ask the simple question, "What the hell did you do to my mom?" In Jack's words, Sam stared at him as if he had seen a ghost and then shut the door in his face. Sam panicked. Whatever he did to Eileen, people were starting to catch on. Later that night, Sam would talk to his granddaughter, Emily, and would claim that he was going to harm himself so that he could go visit her deceased grandmother. This shocked Emily, as in her eyes, Eileen was still alive. Quickly, she would call 911 to report everything Sam had just told her, and shortly thereafter, police would locate a drunken Sam at his local bar.
Hi, sir. How are you? Good. Is this your vehicle? Yes. Hey, can I just talk to you real quick? Yeah. Do you have any weapons or anything on here?
I think her body in that car right there.
Hey, we were called to check your welfare. Okay, I think you talked to your granddaughter earlier, and she was concerned about you, some of the statements that you made to her. I'm here for you, man. Tell me what's going on. Why are you feeling the way you're feeling?
My girlfriend, it was like a week ago, me and her broke up. She moved in with a guy, and apparently he raped her.
What's his name?
The only thing I know, he goes by Mike. Me and her broke up. She didn't have a place to go. She moved in with him. She told me Friday that he tried to mess with her. So I called my son.
He looked like Mike.
He trying to
blame it on Mike.
So I called my son and
like
see
I
if he
said,
could move back in with her.
He just accusing
and then,
Mike.
I went to his house, got her stuff, took her to my son's, and then the next morning we went to work, and then she went right back to him. So I don't know.
So
he just
what
accusing
comments
Mike,
did you make to your granddaughter that would be concerning this evening?
I just told her I'm gonna go out and have a couple of drinks and I love her. That's it.
Okay, did you mention something about seeing grandma tonight?
What's that?
Did you mention something about seeing grandma tonight?
No.
I would like for you to talk to somebody tonight. I would like for you to talk to a medical professional. Okay, I don't want to have to drag you up to the hospital, but I most certainly will. I think based off of what the granddaughter has told us tonight, and kind of the.
Oh, she call you?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
She was crying when we went and talked to her. I mean, she's.
Oh really?
Yes. She was very emotional.
Her best friend and are currently at the apartment because of what you said.
Wow.
Based off of what they've told me tonight, I'm going to give you one of two options. You can go up willingly and talk to a medical professional tonight.
Okay.
Or I can take you up there and you'll stay there for 72 hours. Okay?
I can't have my granddaughter come get me?
No. Based off of what you've told us and what's going on in your life right now,
Yeah.
you need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think that we will be doing our due diligence to do our job to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself based off of what's going on with you and your girlfriend.
Right.
Okay? You need to talk to somebody tonight. Okay? And so the best course of action is to go up to the hospital, your choice, to go to talk to somebody about it tonight.
Sam's mental state was clearly deteriorating. Whatever happened to Aline, regardless of his involvement, was really getting to him. Following this, Sam would be placed in a psychiatric facility for the next 2 days, where he would undergo therapy and psychiatric care.
At Blink, we admire every step you take, living life boldly in every decision you make.
I hate dumb shits, boy.
During these 2 days, detectives would aim to gather more intel on the case, this time by interviewing the family of Aline and Sam. They'd bring in both Justin Brammer, Sam's son, and Nicole Shipper, Aline's daughter. And both of them would reveal significant details crucial to solving the case.
Bring me some.
Detective Zach Melner, I just want to get as much history as you can tell me or talk to me about when it comes to your mom. What was their relationship like over there?
Not a healthy one.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
He didn't like her drinking. He thought he could change her get her to stop drinking. I told him that he can't because she won't change for a kid. She's not going to change for a man. And he seemed to think that he could change her, so he kept trying with her. But there was things on his part and her part that were not healthy. They both had jealousy issues. He has a very short temper.
It was old.
Very short temper, and littlest things will set him off, and it's like ridiculous.
I wouldn't know what he did to her.
They were good. But when it was not, I was constantly in the middle of it because she's my mom and that's my boyfriend's dad.
They were good when they weren't drinking, especially when she wasn't drinking. She'd bicker, she'd argue, they'd start arguing, it just escalate. Next day they were fine. They go to bed angry.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever see it get physical?
No, never seen it physical. He told me she grabbed him by her neck a couple times, but that was about it.
Okay. Why would he grab her by the neck?
No, she grabbed him by the neck.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like Sam and Aline had a rocky relationship, but it rarely escalated to the point of violence. And if the fights did turn violent, it was Aline doing the physical harm to Sam.
The week prior to last Monday, what was going on?
They were separated. She called me before she went missing and telling me how she don't want to get back with him because she's tired of him throwing her out for
They had a fight and he took her away after the fight.
And she's
he killed her during the fight probably.
Being able to have a
and then
took her. Because he just gets so mad.
That's why he was going up the road.
Just kicks her out.
Did Emily want her to go?
He going mad far. Like the
wanting to
nigga
go?
went
Was it Sam?
6.7 miles away.
Okay.
And he was still going.
He'd kick her back out. Bring her back, kick her back out. Told me to stop. I mean, you guys need to just separate. Go separate ways.
Sam's family strongly suggests that Aline was in fact the troubled one in the relationship, and Sam tried over and over to cut her out of his life. This only perplexed detectives and simply doesn't explain why Sam's been acting so strangely following Aline's disappearance.
So it is Mike.
2 days after these interviews, Sam would be released from the psychiatric facility. Fortunately for Sam, no new leads had come out regarding Aline's death, meaning he could finally have some peace for the first time in the last week. Or so it would seem. Because on February 21st, the same day Sam was released, he would go to Walmart to restock on alcohol. However, right as Sam was about to get in his truck and leave, an off-duty officer spotted him and decided to ask some questions related to Aline. Hesitantly, Sam asked to move his truck, and then he would talk to the officer. But the moment he got into his car, Sam would slam on the pedal, nearly hitting the officer, and
he got the
flooring
body in
his
the
truck
trunk,
down the road,
like I said.
running past pedestrians. The cop would jump in his car and begin chasing Sam, who would only pick
got the
up
body
speed
in the trunk,
as he
yeah?
ramped up to over 100 miles
Why he
per
spinning
hour
like
down
that?
the peaceful roads of Rexburg, Idaho.
Turning westbound on He's now eastbound on
That body is in that car.
If that's using the white Tahoe, he can light it up. It's approaching him.
That's why he
The
took off
chase
like that.
continued for
That
multiple
body's in the
minutes,
car.
but it became clear to officers that Sam had no plans of slowing down. So the chief officer radioed in to call the chase off.
Shut it down.
He either had her tied up in the
had
car,
just
not dead yet,
successfully run from the police. And
she was
while
already
he was
dead.
having the time of his life, this chase
Why he's spinning
obviously
like
made
that, y'all?
things much, much worse for Sam. Not only was he now highly suspected of murder, but is also wanted for evading arrest and reckless driving. A couple hours after his escape,
Damn, that nigga
he
played
would
it off
simply
well,
return
though,
back to his
son.
apartment as if nothing had ever
Even the
happened.
mother
Ironically,
said
this would
that
actually postpone Sam's
the
arrest, as more officers assumed he would be hiding in a more clever place and searched around the town instead of checking the Cottonwood
That's
apartments.
crazy.
In fact, the entire day would go by, and officers had no trace of
He
where
one
Sam
hell of
could
an
have
actor,
gone.
y'all.
But the fun would only last for a day, and the pressure must have gotten to Sam, as the next morning he would turn himself in to police. Sam would be charged
Yeah, that
with
liquor wore
eluding and
off.
reckless driving
That liquor wore
and would
off.
be placed in the Pottawatomie County Jail. However,
All them
Sam
beers
would
he was
only
drinking, that
spend
shit wore
one night
off.
in the county jail after being bailed out by Emily. So by the grace of a miracle, yet again, Sam Brammer was back on the streets.
How you get bail?
If you want to learn how to
doing
edit
all of
really
that?
well from professional
A nigga like me,
marketers,
I ain't getting
we're going to show
bail.
you the stuff that nobody else is teaching. I'm talking about real creative skills, like how you can use music and sound design.
We got about 10 minutes left, y'all. How you get bail for that, though? Let's talk about that real quick. How he get bail? A nigga like me not getting bail for that. Evading the police. And wanted, well, yeah. Of course, yeah. I probably would have got bail. I probably would have got bail. But that's crazy though. Like, they know he did it. Well, I guess, you feel me? I guess I don't know. I ain't no police. I ain't no judge.
During this time, Sam would go to the bank and hand them a large stack of cash to deposit into his account. This wad of cash would come out to be approximately $1,200, the exact amount found in Aline's safe that she had the day of her disappearance. Additionally, Sam would drive his truck over to the scrapyard. He would ask to fully dispose of it, crushing it to pieces, and even shredding it after. To
So
make
I was
sure
right
this
the
got
whole
done,
time, y'all.
Sam would
I knew I wasn't
meticulously
tripping.
watch the entire
He bodied her
hour-long
in the
process,
truck.
ensuring his car
Bodied
was
her
turned
in
to
the
dust.
truck, you heard? He probably bodied her in the crib fighting
more
her
obvious
and
that
put her
Sam
body in the
had
truck,
something to
and they had
do
to
with
get rid of the
Eileen's
truck because the truck
disappearance.
had it,
The lies
the
to
DNA in it.
detectives,
You
the
know what I'm
disturbing
saying?
comments to Emily, running from the cops, cashing in Eileen's safe money, and now shredding the only potential piece of evidence he had left. On top of all of that, detectives had looked into the claims involving Mike Brockman and discovered that Mike was at work all day at Omaha,
Come on,
Nebraska,
son. Innocent
nowhere
Mike.
near Sugar's
Poor little
Diner,
Mike.
where Eileen was last seen.
Trying to wrap
all
him
of
up for the
that
body.
leaves Ivan Sam Bremer as the final suspect.
Little
With
old
no
Mike.
direct evidence, all
Try
law
to wrap him
enforcement
up.
could do is
Try to
wait
do him in.
until new clues came their way.
Damn, son, he tried to send Mike up road.
911, what's the address?
Tried to send Mike away.
I don't really have an address. We're off the exit of Crescent, Iowa, over by a public shooting area.
What's going on?
So we're driving down the road to go shooting or whatever, and there is a dead body on the side of the road.
Male or female?
It's female for sure.
On February 26th, Eileen's body was found underneath a bridge just miles away from Sam's apartment. The body was unrecognizable, but the clothes matched the exact outfit Eileen was wearing the day she had disappeared. Someone had killed her. Medics would pronounce Eileen dead on the scene, and she would be taken to the hospital to get an autopsy done to determine her cause of death. But her results would come back strange.
He really did that.
Eileen had 8 blunt force impacts to her head and a fractured front tooth. Well,
beat her to death,
none
like
of these
I
injuries
said.
were sufficient to cause her to die, so her cause of death would be ruled as undetermined. Unfortunately for police, this meant they wouldn't be able to immediately charge Sam with murder. However, with all the sufficient evidence they'd gathered throughout the course of the investigation, they had enough to charge him with abuse of a corpse. Quickly, they'd receive an arrest warrant, and for the 4th time that month, officers would arrive at Sam's apartment, this time to finally seal his fate.
She was in the truck when he was evading.
Morning. We're looking for your grandfather.
That's why they're trying to hit him with abuse
Is
of
he
a
here?
corpse.
Okay, just 1 second. Just go.
She was dead in the truck.
Okay. Is there anybody else in there?
No, just him. He's sleeping.
Okay. Has he got any guns or anything like that? Okay. Well, he's got a warrant, so we need to talk to him. Just let that officer in. I'll be right there.
See, she's so innocent, bro, but she don't even know that she's trying to save
Show us your hands. No,
fucking.
hey.
She don't even know what she doing. You heard? She
I don't
just
want
love her
favorites.
grandpops, and she want him. She want to make sure he's
I'll let you
good.
smoke that if you. Oh, you can smoke it. All right.
Sickening, bro. Sickening.
All right.
The dog sound like he ain't got no life.
Yeah.
Sound-
I'll put huh?
Old ass dog.
I'll explain it here in a minute, all right?
That shit sound like a video of a human making a dog sound. That shit ain't got no bark. Woo, woo,
Okay, you'll be, County will be able to call you in a little bit. Thank you.
Sam's games had
That shit ain't
finally
got no
come to an end. Sam would eventually go to court for the murder of Eileen Gowan. Forensic pathologists would spend weeks investigating Eileen's death, and eventually they would discover zipper marks on the neck of Eileen, signifying that she was strangled to death, likely by Bremer.
Oh, I thought he slit her
This
throat.
pile of circumstantial evidence seemed to be enough for the jury, and on November 17th, 2023, Ivan Samuel Bremer was charged with second-degree murder, abuse of a corpse, and theft. He was sentenced to 65 years in prison.
Yeah, that's a long time. He deserved that. We out of here.